All right. So if you had to give the show any kind of award, what would you give it? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay, I did the relatable award because I think that all the characters are people that I know. They're not the most. I love that Phyllis and shoot, Angela and Meredith, Oscar, Kevin. I love that they're all normal looking people. That there's not many above average looking people on that show.
That's true.
So
That's
it's
true.
just relatable in every aspect.
That's true. Now that you mentioned that, yeah, I hadn't
What
thought
about
of
you?
that. I would give it the awkward award for making me feel very awkward almost anytime Michael Scott speaks. Um,
You just know it's coming.
he's trying to do a joke when the is it the new guy that they bring in
Ryan
Ryan,
Howard.
when they bring him in, he's like, you'll be my he doesn't say wingman, but he said my I can't remember exactly what he
What does he
says, but
say?
he says but this girl comes in, I guess it's Pam probably comes in, and
Yeah.
he's acting like they're downsizing, and he alludes to the fact basically that she's going to be without a jobs basically, and then I think she starts to cry or
He
get real sad,
does.
and then there's an awkward silence, and then Ryan doesn't say anything, and then out of the blue, like his they say that Michael says something about it being a joke, and then he's like, yeah, he's my whatever, but he doesn't say anything, and the guy does nothing but sit there pretty much
It just looks.
head down. So I thought it was cringy, but you know, he thought he was. I think I think he's naive enough to think that he's good at telling these jokes. He's a jokester. He's known for telling jokes. No, he's known for telling inappropriate and inappropriately bad jokes or non-jokes, which I appreciate. I appreciate
Yeah.
non-jokes. I think you do too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh, it's so perfect the way that you can like you sit there and you are Ryan, and you're like, oh, please don't. No,
yeah,
please don't. Please.
yeah.
Oh, I feel like most episodes are like, please don't. Sexual harassment. The whole episode is like, oh no,
See, I
just don't
think we
do
can
that.
also relate to doing things because a lot earlier, that we didn't. You mentioned many times ago how that time we went to Hardee's and we handed that guy the key to
Yep.
unlock the. How awkward was it to this guy? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, or how awkward it was me, you, and Maytag. I think he might have been weirded out by this, or the time, yeah, many. I'm sure there's many other times on the radio when when it's been awkward. I know there's been many times, during the crazy call. I would often
Yep.
get those awkward, like chills, because I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew it was going to be awkward and cringeworthy. And now I appreciate it way more than when I used to.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So, what's your final thoughts on the show? Are you gonna watch any more of it?
yeah, I'm going to go through, and I wouldn't mind, watching this entire show. Just you said you've not watched past when Steve Carell went off the show.
Yeah, when he leaves the show, it kind of takes a nosedive. I think it does
Oh, well,
because it's just the whole show revolves around him.
well, see, now knowing that I mean, I knew he wasn't. I knew James Spader was on it later seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But now after seeing Michael Scott's character and knowing he leaves, like I didn't know he. I mean, I thought that does he come back at all? He seems like, does Michael Scott come back?
He only makes one appearance, and that's for the last episode.
Oh, but
Yeah.
I'm now knowing Michael Scott's character or getting to know him. I'm curious to see if he leaves, how James Spader plays what I would assume to be the exact opposite or the exact same character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's only
And I
on
would
there for
imagine
a
it'd be
few
exactly the
episodes too.
He's what?
He's only on there for like a few episodes as they're like transitioning.
Okay.
Because Will
So he's on
Ferrell
there.
comes in too.
Does he come in for a while or just one episode? Does he have like this?
Just like, I think James Spader's there for about 2 or 3 episodes, and Will Ferrell's there for about 2 or 3 episodes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But it just, I watched a few of those just because, you know, they pulled in some big names.
Yeah.
But then they hire within. Oh, I don't want to give away too much, but they hire within, and then it's just kind of like, all right, I get what you're doing here, but
Okay.
it's not the same.
So yeah, I definitely want to check out some more episodes, and I want to do some more research on The Office. And I'm glad that you suggested The Office.
But I would say if you do go back to episode 2 and pick up where you left off, because the end of season 1 is really good, and then as you get into season 2, I still think season 2 is the best season in the history of. I think that Michael Scott is the most complicated, greatest character in the history of episodic television, and I think that season 2 is the greatest season of any show in the history of television. It's just, there's so many layers to it. I love it so much.
Well, I've definitely watched the first 2 seasons, and then I'll go from there.
Sweet. Do it.
It might take me a while because I'm slow, but I will watch it though.
Hey, you know, one at a time.
Well,
all right, well, that's
going
good.
to do a routine, and then I can do it just like with the basketball games. I watch one every day.
There you go. That's what I do. Is that I watch. I'm watching the show out of Canada, and every night I play 2 or 3 games of basketball on Xbox, and I just watch. Usually, 1 game is an episode, so I end up watching about 2 or 3 episodes before I go to bed, or before I fall asleep on the couch and then go to bed. And that's just my routine of consumption. Yeah. And we started watching Schitt's Creek. We got past the first episode. We went on to the second one. We got some good laughs. And then we probably made about 4 or 5 episodes, and we're like, okay, this is good.
We'll stick with it?
I think so. We kind of were going back and forth between that and Miss Maisel, Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Yeah, the first episode of Schitt's Creek is not, that's subpar, but it builds. And the mother character,
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
Is that what her name is?
I can't think of her name.
She is one of the funniest women to ever walk this earth. Funny.
And then the son, he's good. That's his first acting role as well.
He is so good.
He's funny too.
All right, so yeah, Catherine O'Hara. Catherine O'Hara is hilarious. Eugene Levy is great at being the straight guy. Like, I think he does an excellent job as a straight guy. And then the son, I think the son is so good. The girl, she's kind of there.
She doesn't.
The thing is, I like her. I just don't like her situations.
Yeah.
I think she's a cool, interesting person. I just wish they'd give her better situations to be in. But I don't know. We'll talk about that maybe. We'll do that in the future.
I actually have listened to most of that show. I haven't watched it all, but I've listened to it. So
it's good. I like it. I like it so far, and I love Elliot.
Yeah, Chris Elliott.
Chris Elliott. Yeah, I really like his character too. Anyway, we'll talk about that on a different show.
All right, man.
All right, so that's gonna do it for this episode of Adam and Jake on the movies. Next week, we'll be back to movies next week, right?
Back to movies. Yep. What
are we going to do? What are we going to watch? You got to pick.
Ed Burns movie, Looking for Kitty. A little-known movie, about a $250,000 budget, shot by a director that Jake and I both have met. So, Looking for Kitty by director Ed Burns next week.
Looking forward to it. All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place. So, I'm Jake.
I'm Adam.
And until next time, so long, everybody.
See you later.